Hello and welcome to Friday's edition of Yesterday in Baseball. We got the playoff recaps for you guys. My name is Luke, and today we're going to be doing some quick recaps of the 3 Game 3s we had yesterday. All were very exciting, very entertaining games. And then I've got a little bit of a breakdown for you guys. Not like a John Boy breakdown, more of a... We'll be breaking down PCA and some of the adjustments he's made, because we've talked this week about how he's just looked so lost at the plate. Well, he found it yesterday, going 3 for 4, so happy for him. We had some historic rookie performances as 2 of them faced off in New York and Boston's matchup. And all these games were great, so I'm excited to get into them and just recap all the fun action from yesterday. So without further ado, let's jump out to Cleveland. Detroit took down the Guardians 6-3 and advances on to the ALDS. In the bottom of the second, we got the action started as Chase DeLauder on the Guardians got his first big league hit, a rare occurrence in the MLB postseason. He's the 6th player of all time to make their debut in the playoffs. In the top of the third inning, the Tigers got the scoring started from a pair of singles, then an RBI double from Kerry Carpenter to put the Tigers up 1-0. Ciccone didn't go deep, going 2.1 innings, giving up 1. In the bottom of the fourth, the Guardians tied it back up thanks to a Jose Ramirez RBI single. Locked things up at 1-1, but that was the end of that threat in the fourth. Jack Flaherty went 4.2, giving up just 1. He looked very solid, but another short hook. I would expect him to go deeper, but in an elimination game, they're very quick to pull him. Detroit got back on the board in the top of the 6th, where Dylan Dingler hit a towering solo shot to put the Tigers up 2-1. Then the Tigers applied pressure yet again in the top of the 7th as they loaded the bases and got the line moving thanks to an RBI from Wenceel Perez. Torkelson, Riley Green, all 3 of them knocked in runs to make it 6-1. The Guardians season was on life support, but they had a rally going in the bottom of the 8th. It was another tough break for J-Ram as 2 scored on an error, but he got thrown out trying to get to second, ending the rally prematurely. That was the last chance for the Guards as the Tigers won 6-3 and will travel to Seattle to take on the Mariners. Now as we travel on to the north side of Chicago, the Cubs took down the Padres 3-1. The Cubs came out looking determined as they got on the board early. They got a big couple of hits in the bottom of the second. A single, double, and a hit by pitch set up an RBI single from Pete Crow Armstrong. That was their first base hit with runners in scoring position all series. That was the end of the line for Yu Darvish as Estrada came in and walked 1 to make it 2-0. That's all the Cubs could get. It was a stalemate for most of the middle innings, but the Cubs defense continued to shine and be an impactful force in the series. In the bottom of the 7th, the Cubs kicked it into gears. They teed off on Robert Suarez. Michael Busch crushed a homer. And Nico Hoerner just missed a homer with a double, but they couldn't cash in on it. Jackson Merrill crushed a solo shot in the top of the 9th, trying to give him a chance. And then Keller hit 2 batters, bringing the go-ahead run to the plate. Freddie Fermin was the batter, and he just barely missed a 3-run shot. I initially thought it was gone, but fell short, just like the Padres' World Series hopes. The Chicago Cubs advanced after a 3-1 victory over the Padres. Now out to Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. The New York Yankees beat the Boston Red Sox 4-0. We had a rookie pitchers duel between Cam Schlittler and Connolly Early. They both looked very sharp to begin the game. The first offensive threat came from the Yankees in the bottom of the second as Giancarlo Stanton thought he had a homer, but he ended up pimping a double, and it was barely a double as he barely made it to second base. The Yankees couldn't cash in on that leadoff double. The first danger for Early, though, truly was in the bottom of the 4th, as New York had 2 people on, nobody out, and they got their first run from an RBI single from Ahmed Rosario, then another from Anthony Volpe to make it 2-0. But the inning from hell continued as Nathaniel Lowe made an error that allowed 2 runs to score, making it 4-0 Yankees. Most of the contact was soft contact and found holes. It's kind of an unlucky way to end the day for Early, but he just wasn't missing bats, and they were finding the outfield. In the top of the 7th, Cam Schlittler set a Yankee record with 11 Ks in his postseason debut. He was so lights out and he was throwing strikes that the Yankees sent him back out for the top of the 8th, where he recorded his 12th strikeout and completed 8 dominant innings. And Ryan McMahon made one of the most incredible catches you'll ever see, barreling into the Red Sox dugout. I thought he landed on his head, but he was able to brace himself just in time. Then Bednar came in and sealed the win for the Yankees 4-0. Good strategy from them. They're like, Schlittler's balling. We don't have to go to the bullpen. And they let him go out there and he ate. So fun to watch, smart from them, and yeah, they'll be going to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. And just some of my quick thoughts from Thursday's action. I mean, Detroit they ended up looking like the better team. I know I was like, I don't know if they can get it done, if their offense is going to show up. They'd struggled that last month, but they showed up. I don't think the Guardians' offense really had what it takes to make a deep postseason run, but I think Detroit still could. So that'll be interesting to see how they fare against Seattle, who's been sitting for a week. The Cubs look good. Like I said, I mean, they have so many different ways to win, and that lineup is so much longer with PCA in there and hitting, so that's good for them. And then the Yankees, Cam Schlittler with the most dominant pitching performance I've seen all playoffs. I mean, Skubal was just amazing and lights out, but Schlittler didn't give them anything. He didn't give them an inch, and that was exactly what they needed. With a bum bullpen, they're like, if we can get 8 from our starter, let's do it. Doesn't matter if he's a rookie, what the situation is. So respect to all sides in that. That was a well-played game. So I wanted to do a quick segment on PCA's adjustments from yesterday. Now, I'll preface this. I'm definitely no hitting coach, no hitting expert. But, you could tell he had a different stance in the box yesterday. In game 1 and 2, he was a lot taller. Still not as tall as he was in the year prior. But he came out in game 3 with a much lower, much more stable looking stance and moved back a little bit, helping to simplify all of his movements, quiet everything so that he could just focus on hitting the ball. And it worked. Game 3, he was 3 for 4 with an RBI single, and it was said he tried to simplify his approach and minimize that head movement, all of that to just kind of help get the barrel to the ball. And that helps him catch up with that heat. The Padres bullpen was throwing gas all series, and you could tell in games 1 and 2, he'd come up in big spots and he would be outmatched by just the fastballs. And I mean, anyone will tell you that if you can't hit the fastball, you can't make it in the league. Not saying that he wasn't going to be able to make it in the league, but that was a key to his struggles. He wasn't able to hit that. So he comes in and he's just able to put the barrel to the ball. He gets 100 miles an hour, get hits in big spots. And that Cubs lineup is just so much scarier when he's in there and he's hitting. Now, they have to game plan for him, even extra, and, you got to be pitching around him and thinking about that and making bullpen moves. So, that's going to help them a lot if he's in there and hitting or just have that threat of hitting. So, well, so you can see in this that bottom picture, he's just so wide, so ready to go, and can really just focus so much energy on getting those hands to the ball. So, good on him for making an adjustment there. And, continuing to work, continuing to try and get better, because you could tell he was getting frustrated with himself. But he's got to be proud of that performance yesterday and be proud of his Cubs for moving on. Now let's go ahead and see who was our player of the day for yesterday. Lots of great performances. 3 teams clinched. That means that there's a lot of big important games and big impactful players. But none truly was as impactful as Cam Schlittler on the New York Yankees. He got the win, going 8 innings, no earned runs, only gave up 5 hits, and had 12 strikeouts to a plus 32 win probability added. On top of that, he made Yankee history with that rookie postseason strikeout record. And, just anytime you see a guy go 8 innings, so many times in these wild card series, we saw quick hooks, guys getting pulled after an inning, 2 innings, 3. So to see a rookie, go out there, be poised and go 8 innings for your club, that everyone knows the bullpen is kind of a concern. It's a weak spot. He just went out there and got the job done, and kind of ice in his veins. He was determined, like I said, and it was impressive to watch, and probably the most dominant pitching performance we've seen so far in these playoffs. So it'll be fun to see how they use him in the next couple series and how he fares. So he used the player of the day for Thursday, and a well-deserved player of the day. So that's all from Friday's show. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the game 3s. It was kind of like the old school one-off wild card games. Not quite, but still that kind of do or die game 7 mentality for both, so that was fun. Tomorrow we'll be back with a preview of the divisional series, and that'll be fun because I liked doing that, like making that, because it really helped me know what to look out for in these series. So I hope it does the same for you guys. So thank you again for listening. Have a great rest of your day and hope to see you tomorrow.